you know what the Diamondbacks could do is they could upgrade at third base their 38-year-old third baseman with another 38-year-old third baseman.
There you go.
And Justin Turner. Now we're thinking, right? Now we're thinking. Because apparently Justin Turner has been connected to the Arizona Diamondbacks, according to our friend Bob Nightengale over at USA Today. The Diamondbacks were reportedly interested in him last offseason as well, which we understand. And that makes sense considering that they went with Longoria, right? Like, makes sense that the interest was there. But, yeah, I mean, on one hand, I feel like this team is still going to need that leadership, that veteran leadership to come from somewhere, right? And so I don't hate that in the idea of Justin Turner coming over here. But his numbers also weren't terrible in Boston. I just don't know, do we still want Justin Turner playing third base, or would he be brought in maybe more as a DH?
Yeah, Justin Turner is not a third baseman. He's just not. And that's, I would be shocked if the Diamondbacks were, I mean, it seems they're interested in Justin Turner. I don't have any doubts there. I would be shocked if the Diamondbacks are interested in Justin Turner to be their everyday third baseman.
Yeah.
This season, he played only 7 games for the Boston Red Sox at third base. In those 7 games, this is 57 innings. So not much at all. It's a really small sample size. -3 defensive runs saved, -4 outs above average.
Wow.
It's hard to take defensive metrics seriously in that short of a sample.
Yeah.
But those are some super heavy negative numbers in 7 games. So I just don't think he's a viable third baseman at this point. I think he could play first base, and I think he could DH. D-backs don't need a first baseman, or we were just talking about, they've got a Gold Glover over there as it is. They do kind of need a DH, right? Like, that would make sense. So I think the Diamondbacks, if they are indeed interested in Justin Turner, which based on this report they are, in my mind, it's got to be for him to be a DH to kind of fill, you know, the Evan Longoria sort of role, but not to play in the field, you know, more to just add another bat to the lineup, which is something they need. Like, he hit 276, 345, 455 last year. It's an 800 OPS, 23 homers, 96 RBI. He had a career high 626 plate appearances. He was pretty durable for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So it makes some sense as a DH. I think it could work for the D-backs, but just not as a third baseman. They're going to have to figure something else out there.
He could also back up at first base potentially, if you're looking for that as some more reasons to bring him on.
They played him at 10 games at second base too, which is kind of scary. Like, I don't know exactly the circumstances that led the Red Sox to do that, but I imagine they sort of didn't have a choice.
41 games at first base.
Yeah, he played a decent amount of first base, and his defensive metrics were good there.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's a totally fine first baseman, but again, that's not really a position the Diamondbacks really have a need at.
Sure, but if they start treating DH more like an actual position they need to acquire someone for, and not just some spot for one of their guys to hit when they have a day, like, you can still use that, but it's not. It's just, I don't really feel like they had like an actual designated hitter this year. You know,
they really have never had an actual designated hitter since the DH was added to the National League, right? They've kind of done this thing every year where it's like, all right, like, whoever's not playing in the field today, we're going to use the DH spot as a way to get guys days off. And, you know, once Tommy Pham was in the fold, it was basically, all right, well, we have 4 outfielders, and Tommy Pham is the one that we like the least defensively, so he's our DH, right? And that's kind of how they use the spot. You could make a case that the D-backs should try to fill that DH spot with someone who can really hit and can be in there every day. And I think there's a good case to be made that Justin Turner would be solid in that role.